What is living a life of essence? And what does essence teach us about our life?
Living a life of essence is the most beautiful thing. It's about realizing who we are, our true potential, about feeling and sensing ourselves as the soul, that we are the soul. We become soulful people. We love life and we let the soul evolve. We find the nature of our soul, we find who we truly are, and we actualize the mission of our soul, what we call a soul station. There are two ways to be with the essence. One is the direct experience. When essence is there, we feel the flow of it, and that is easy. And sometimes we fall out of essence when we are not yet permanently connected with the essence, because there are stages in this. And so the other way that helps us is to know of the essence, to know about essence. And the way to know about essence, so when we fall out of it, we know about it and we know how to come back to it, is about knowing the cosmic laws or knowing the ethical code of essence. And this is very beautiful because in this way we have a map and we have a compass. So when we get lost, we can be guided back to our essence when we know the ethical code of essence, how essence is, how essence feels, what are the laws of the essence. So in order to live a life of essence, first of all we have to free the essence flow in our system, because as we have said before, due to our history, to our conditioning, our programming that came from our psychological wounds and the way we had to create a personality and ego in order to survive this. So we got programmed, we got conditioned. So we need to look at the psychological issues and wounds from our childhood, admit to it, try to heal it, and then in this way we will recognize, we will see how the flow of essence got impaired in our system due to that wounding that created eventually the conditioning. So we need to heal some of this material to allow again the fountains of essence to open and the essence to flow again in our system. Because the flow of essence got impaired due to those programs and wounds and psychological issues and content in general. So we need to work, as we say, on our object relations from our childhood. This is a very important part, and this is labor, this is work. We need to do this work. And the other part is we need to study and to know and to meditate upon the ethical code of essence. When you talk about the ethical code of essence, this is not about a religion, this is not about a dogma or a doctrine. It is about recognizing how essence feels and what is essence about. So when we live a life of essence, we cultivate merit. Merit is essence. We tune into the higher octave of the soul. We tune into the qualities of essence, the qualities of the soul. And it's about loving, it's about giving, it's about service, serving, and it is about the loyalty toward the soul. Now, many people get scared when they enter this path. But if I live a life of essence, will I leave my parents behind? Will I leave my friends behind? Will I leave humanity behind? And this is a great fear, in fact. And here I need to say that living a life of essence, discovering our soul and the potential of our soul, the nature of our soul, and actualizing our soul station doesn't mean that we will leave the loved ones behind, be it our parents or the world or our friends. Just to speak about our parents, separating from our conditioning doesn't mean that we will leave our parents behind in a real sense or in an emotional sense. Leaving the conditioning behind means separating from the ego of our parents, because these wounds, these interactions, this painful stuff that happened in our childhood happened when our parents were in their ego. And when we separate from the ego of our parents, we don't separate from our parents. It's exactly the opposite. We find finally our parents, the essence, the soul of our parents, that was covered by their ego, that was acting out in those situations. And in fact, if we want to honor the gift of life that they gave us our body, they gave us the opportunity to come in this world and live and learn. And in order for us to honor that gift, because we do in a soul level, we want to honor them. We want to express our gratitude for that. This is natural, this is part of essence. In order for us to do that, we have to separate from their ego. So by separating from their ego, we don't separate from them, we find them. We really find who they truly are. Because the ego of our parents, like in general the ego, the personality, is a dead organism. So we are mistaking our parents, who they are, with their ego, which is a dead organism covering their essence. So we need actually to separate from their ego in order to continue to progress. And finding the soul, finding the essence, we will not separate from the humanity and the friends, the opposite. We will come back to humanity, to the real humanness, to the real humanity. And we will become loyal to the soul, because this is the real loyalty. And when we experience that, we never want to go away from that anymore.